In a quiet town surrounded by hills and green fields, lived a young man named Aarav. He was warm-hearted and full of ambition. He often spoke of big dreams, of building a meaningful life, helping others, and achieving success. But Aarav had one significant weakness. He never trusted himself to make decisions. Whenever life presented a choice, whether about studies, career paths, or even simple personal matters, Aarav turned to others. He constantly sought advice from friends, teachers, or his family, hoping someone else would tell him what to do. While guidance from others is helpful, Aarav had taken it too far. He was no longer asking for advice. He was avoiding responsibility. His father, Arin, a wise and experienced man, began to worry. He saw the hesitation in his son's eyes, the way Aarav avoided decisions, and the way he followed others, even when he disagreed. One peaceful evening, as the sun dipped behind the trees, Arvin turned to his son and said, "Aarav, come with me tomorrow morning. I want to show you something important." Curious, Aarav nodded. He didn't know what his father had in mind, but he trusted him. The next morning, they set out early and made their way into a nearby forest. As they walked deeper into the woods, the only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the chirping of birds. After a while, Arvin stopped in front of a young, healthy tree. "Tell me, Aarav," he said, "how does this tree stand so tall and strong?" Aarav looked at the tree and replied, "Because it gets sunlight and water from the earth." His father smiled and nodded. "That's true. But what if this tree depended on another tree for support instead of growing on its own? What do you think would happen then?" Aarav paused. "I suppose it would grow weak and fall if the other tree fell." "Exactly," his father said. "Just like trees, people must learn to stand on their own. If you rely on others to make every decision for you, you'll never develop your own strength." They continued walking until they reached an old stone well. Moss covered its walls and vines clung to the edges. Arvin picked up a small stone and dropped it into the well. After a moment, they heard the soft splash of water far below. "Did you hear that?" Arvin asked. "Yes," Aarav replied. "The stone hit the water." "Now imagine," his father said, "if the stone refused to fall because it was waiting for another stone to go first. Would it ever reach the water?" Aarav shook his head. It would stay stuck at the edge. "Exactly," Arvin said, placing a hand on his son's shoulder. "You are like that stone. You've been waiting for someone else to take the first step, to make the hard choices, to lead your path. But life doesn't work that way. If you want to succeed, you must take that first step yourself." The forest was silent, but Aarav's mind was alive. His father's words struck something deep within him. He thought about all the times he had hesitated, the chances he didn't take, and the dreams he had put on hold because he was waiting for someone else to lead the way. That night, Aarav lay in bed thinking. He remembered moments where he had given up opportunities, not because he lacked ability, but because he doubted himself. That had to change. From the next day forward, Aarav made a promise to himself. "No more waiting. No more fear. I will take the first step." He began small. He made his own decisions about what to study and how to spend his time. When friends asked him what he thought, he didn't mirror their opinions. He gave his own. He learned to listen to advice but not be ruled by it. He started taking initiative, volunteering in projects, trying new things, even if they scared him. And yes, at first he made mistakes. Some choices led to failure. But each time he stood up stronger, more confident. With every step, he built his identity, not from what others expected, but from who he truly was. Years passed. Aarav's growth was remarkable. He started his own business, taking risks others were too afraid to try. He became known not just for his achievements, but for his resilience and independence. People admired his clarity and courage. One afternoon, a young boy approached him in the marketplace. "Sir," he asked, "what's the secret to your success?" Aarav smiled. The memory of the tree and the well returned to him. "The day I stopped waiting," he said, "everything changed. I realized that success doesn't come from depending on others. It comes from trusting yourself enough to take responsibility for your life." He continued, "Guidance is helpful, but your life is yours to shape. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for others to decide your path. Take the first step, even if it's small. That step will change everything." Take the first step, the power of self-reliance. In life, it's natural to seek advice and support from others. But when we become overly dependent on people to make decisions for us, we risk losing our confidence, direction, and sense of self. Aarav's story reminds us of a simple but powerful truth. No one else can walk your path for you. You can listen, learn, and observe, but ultimately, you must take the first step. Too often, we delay action because we're waiting for someone to validate our dreams, to guide us perfectly, or to give us permission. But life doesn't wait, and neither should you. True growth begins when you take ownership of your choices. It doesn't mean you'll always be right. In fact, you will make mistakes. You might stumble. But each decision, whether it leads to success or failure, will teach you something vital: how to trust yourself. Start small. Make your own decisions, even if they're uncomfortable. Take initiative. Learn from your missteps. And most importantly, stop waiting for the perfect time or the right person to lead you forward. Because the real secret to success isn't in waiting, it's in doing. Take the first step today. That step could change everything.